And welcome back, everybody. This is Thorn with Game Design Lexicon. We are still trying to suss out this fucking puzzle. And yes, I was working on it while we're on break, listening to some wonderful ELO, thinking that it might soothe me a little on figuring this out. So here's where we are. Now, the thing is that I'm thinking, so I don't think that at any point in time we're going to be replacing both of these T's with dash SIs. I think that's only going to be a one-time thing. So no matter what, it is going to have to come before we put in this one, right? That's my thought. So, oh, wait a second, before it, right? So the pre of XT, 16. So I'm guessing this is also going to have to come after I reverse the string, because we only have pre's of EEs. Oh, wait a second. Let me do this. So that way I don't fuck it up here and forget something. So we said that this has to come before that, right? And then the reverse string oh, no. This has to come before that. Right? So when we reverse the string, so we'll do this backwards here, because that's like one of the best ways to do it. That's how I did it last time, was by kind of reverse engineering it, right? So if we put an XT on it as the prefix, that doesn't make any sense unless there's a double T, right? So that's not going to happen. However, what it is going to have is it's going to have a suffix of an EE, right? So, because we know that when reversing it, we're going to want that EE there, right? So we're going to take this guy, and we're going to move him down here, because we want that EE on right before we reverse the string. Prefix S. So, shit, dude, this one's really fucking hard. I'm racking my brain on this, really. So what we want to imagine so far is what this is going to look like from here down, right? So let's do this. Let's work this here. So, starting with a TN, we're going to put the EE on it. Then we're going to reverse it, which is going to change it into EENT, right? We're going to replace the T with an SI, a dash SI. Right, so that looks actually like it would be something prefix of XT. So XT, right? So that's actually looking like something legible. Like it looks like it's coming out into something. So like if we, for example, decided to put 3 at the bottom here, we'd come out with 16 sin, right? That has to be right? Right? So I think we're really close with that. But that leaves us with, of course, what to do with 2 and 4. Because we can't have... So this actually has to come before the replacement here. Because we don't want that T to also be changed into a dash SI, right? Because dash SIEE doesn't make sense, right? But where? That's the thing. Dude, this is killing me. Okay. TEEX. How would TEEX fit into this? There's no spaces at all, which means... Let's see. 1, 6, 7, 5, 3. So putting an X at the front doesn't make any sense. So my guess is the X has to go on before it's reversed, right? But fucking where, dude? And we decided that the TEE has to go on after the replacement, right? Yeah, if I don't make this by the next break, I think I'm going to cheat. So, spending 2 hours or spending a full hour on this is a bit much, huh? Okay. What are we looking like here? TEE. And that's a suffix. It makes me think that the X is definitely going to need to be put on before it's reversed, right? I think I said that, right? So right after the string is reversed. $16 sin is what I got so far. Oh my god, dude. But I don't know where to place 2 or 4. Again, an X at the front is going to be rough. Yeah, no joke, dude. And it actually is Friday. Isn't that great? I hope you got some good, nice, relaxing plans for the weekend. And hopefully you won't get shot by federal officers or anything. I guess kind of thank God I live in Houston. I mean, I know Houston's a blue city, but I don't think we have any chance of having federal officers come to Houston. And, well, I guess they are here. They are here because I hear reports of it happening. But not a lot of controversy, huh? Yeah, I know, huh? I mean, I know this is probably in bad taste, and of course, not all that relevant, being the people who have had altercations in the last few days. But thank God I'm a white dude. Thank God I'm an introverted white dude who never leaves his house, despite the fact that I'm a radical left lunatic. Okay, so I mean, am I possibly wrong about the fact that we are waiting to do that second dash XI? Yeah, I don't really know at this point in time, X-Band. I don't really know what to say to that. Again, I'm not worried that they're going to become, that they're going to come busting down my door or anything again. I'm a white dude and I have absolutely nothing to do with immigration or anything like that. So I'm not exactly worried about that. I was born here. My family dates all the way back to George Washington. Yeah, I guess on my grandfather's side, or I mean on my dad's side, my dad's relatives date back all the way to the American Revolution. Apparently, one of my great-great-grandfathers, whose name was Nathaniel Greene, fought pretty closely underneath George Washington, so... but, somebody busted into my house and I didn't know who they were. I mean, I got a shotgun right next to right near my bed, so, if somebody busts into my house and they're not like, holding a warrant in front of them, they're going to get a shotgun blast to the chest. So, just saying. Yeah, and so I guess the consolation to that is the person who was shot in Minnesota was basically shot due to, of course, what everyone really predicted was going to happen: poorly trained and incompetent officers. Which when you watch the videos of it, that's exactly what happened. That it was essentially one of the poorly trained officers fucking raging at somebody who was fleeing from them. So you do kind of know that unless you're actually involved in that sort of thing, because I mean, she was, I guess, there to protest. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think it's come out that she was with protesters, right? So, I mean, I'd love to be an active activist and be out on the streets, but I don't really know how I'd manage that. So, if I was in the midst of that type of activity, I'd be a little bit more worried. But fuck it, dude. I wouldn't be worried. I'd gladly give my life to be hopefully, yeah, I mean not hopefully, but at least another, fucking FBI cover up of federal officers murdering Americans. Not that I want that stuff to happen, but the more it does, the more their ass is on the line. Every time it happens, it creates more dissidents in the population. So her ex-husband came out and said she was only there because she had dropped off their son at a nearby school. Really? Yeah, that's even more tragic. But if I saw sort of that, so yeah, no, I mean, if I'm not involved with that sort of thing and I saw that sort of thing happening around me, I'd avoid it like the plague, obviously. And I would have done it before all this stuff happened. I would have avoided it before all this stuff happened because, again, it's not like I'm worried about them targeting me. I'm certainly not. I'm more worried about their incompetence, which is what caused all three of these shootings. They were all caused by incompetent, poorly trained officers that shouldn't have been in areas that they're in. And like I said, the more that it happens, the less the FBI is going to be able to step in and cover it up for our shitty administration. Dude, I watched a Tad Stormer the other day that was just... Do you watch Tad Stormer on YouTube? If you don't, you should. Let me post it in chat, because you're going to really like this one. Let me see if I can dig it up here. I think it's this one here. If you don't watch this guy, you should sub to him. He's really awesome. So, he's pretty much my favorite YouTube creator at the moment. At least that does political content. Basically, he's commenting on one of like a politician, I believe, or somebody who posted, the little thing. What would you do if? What was it? Give me a sec here. Hey, good Americans. Whatever you wish more good Germans. Oh, whatever you wish more good Germans would have done in 1933. Do that shit now, or know that one day people will ask why you failed humanity too. Right? And he's commenting on that because a politician posted that, and then turned around and posted, we got to kill him in the midterms kind of thing. And he's commenting on how that you can't do both, because the whole, by the time it was 1933, political action was no longer an option. Normal political action inside the system was no longer an option. Again, if you don't subscribe to Tad Stormer, I'd highly suggest it. He's a professor of resistance history in the United States. And he does anti-oppression, anti-authoritarian content. It's amazing. And he's extremely truthful about like our forefathers. He doesn't hesitate to say that the whole idea that our country was founded for freedom for everyone is just a load of shit, and that we didn't even get close to that until the Civil War, right? And we didn't even achieve it or even come close to achieving it until the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. And if you ever wonder why there's still, rampant racism in our country, it's because it's been less than 50 years, right? Or 50, let's see, 60, 40. It's been less than 60 years since we've since we've tried to equalize that, and that came at the cost of a severe backlash in white supremacy, right? Because of the civil rights movement of the 60s, we had, Nixon and then Reagan and, the resurgence of white supremacy in this country. Anyway, back to the puzzle. So now here's the thing. If I do add this T and then do the little swap out thing, is that going to... See, here's why I don't think that swap out's going to work. I wonder if... Here, let's do this. Let's add that T. Let's reverse and then swap. So that might be it. I might be wrong about not switching both of those TEs. Maybe this doesn't have any... How's that going to work? Pre-XT. So we have a 5 in there too. So 2, 5, reverse. Now I'm guessing one of these T's has to stay. And if I were going to put money on it, I would say it would be the one that I already have flagged for saving, which is the number 5T, because it's XT, right? So 16. So, like 5 and 3, right? 7, 5, and 3. 6, 7, 5, and 3. There's no H, so it can't be like TH, 16th sen. Yeah, I usually expand if you're curious. I know you're on my Discord, even though there's no activity in it. I do have an anti-oppression channel that I'd suggest that if you do mute my server, that would be like the only thing that you didn't unmute. Because I do post a lot of really decent content for anti-oppressive systems in that channel. If you're interested, of course. If you're not, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, TEEN. So, sin is right. So I'm pretty sure that is going to be sin. So that would be correct as the last one, right? Or is it? Because that eventually has to be reversed. So I would need to reverse it first. There's nothing that adds an N. Oh, no, there is something that adds an N, a 3. Sin? The fuck was that? Sorry, give me a second. Somebody just posted something on Discord that, Oh, yeah. Awesome stuff. Okay, so where am I on my timer? I bet you I've wasted way too much time sitting here yakking about politics and current events. And I'm no closer to solving this thing. It's been a while since I've opened Discord, to be honest. Once it was revealed that they could collude with 3-letter agencies. Yeah, I know. But that's pretty much, these days, dude, that's pretty much all social media things. You really have to pick and choose you really have to pick and choose your battles, you know? YouTube even does, right? Discord, I mean, not Discord, but Twitch even does. And the way that I kind of combat those is I just don't allow myself to so I don't really place you know, I use Discord obviously to chat with a lot of the streamers that I collaborate with, and there's very few actual political stuff that I'm on. I just have my Discord, and then I'm also part of another streamer's Discord who does political content. But like Reddit, for example, I only go on to subreddits that I curate my own content. With YouTube, I don't let YouTube's algorithm dictate where I go, right? I follow my own path on there, which, you know, honestly, that's actually become a thing for me for a while. Because it started with radio and television, right? I got sick of radio and television dictating what I watched. I got sick of only certain things being on when I wanted to watch it. I got sick of radio only playing songs that they wanted me to hear. 10 years ago, super surveillance is a fact of... Oh, yeah, dude. And that realization hit with the Patriot Act, really. So, you know, once the Patriot Act hit and we started learning about technology that made it easier for, like, facial recognition and having cameras everywhere, that's just a fact of life these days. And until we actually move towards a more solar punk, you know, anarchistic society, that's just going to be something. As long as we have authoritarian rule, which we've had pretty much throughout history, that's going to be just a way of life. The more that they can look at you, the more that they're going to try to. Because that's just what they do. That's one of the reasons why our reasons that were given as to why things are still bad are other minorities and people who have no political weight or financial ability, is because they're still pretty much dictating that stuff to us to keep basically keep the blame away from them, right? And that's been pretty much going on since the beginning of fucking time, really. As long as we're under authoritarian rule, that's going to be a thing. Surveillance is going to be a thing. Directed grievance is going to be a thing. We need to break away from that shit, just straight up. And until we break away from authoritarianism, and that's one of the reasons why I'm like so adamant about, you know, when people, like when Trump calls the Democratic Party, you know, radical lunatic leftist Marxists, I constantly push back, because there's no such thing as leftists in our government. Leftists do not exist in our government. They've been stomped out and prevented from participating. There's no leftists in our government because both parties are authoritarianisms. There, you know, and leftists are anti-authoritarian. That's the literal definition of a leftist, right? When you look up where leftist and right wing come from, they come from the French Revolution, where the left side of the aisle wanted less centralized control, and the right side of the aisle wanted more authoritarian control. So it is literally authoritarian control against anti-authoritarian control, and there's no anti-authoritarian faction in our government at all, period. If you tell me that there are leftists in our government at all, I will call you a fucking liar. At most, you'll get a social democrat. Social democrats are still conservative. Period. So where the fuck was I? Sorry, I just went on a political rant there. Sorry, guys. Sitting here trying to do a puzzle and not really thinking about it because I'm ranting about current events. Yeah, you know, fuck the man, dude. Fuck authoritarianism. If you're pushing for the status quo, I mean, there's nothing wrong with voting for the lesser two evil of parties. You know, it keeps it from getting worse, hopefully. But don't think that is going to resolve the issue. The issue is authoritarianism, and both parties are authoritarianism. embodied authoritarianism in both fucking parties. Anyway, I said if I didn't make it to the next break without solving that puzzle, that I'd look up a solution. And I'm probably going to lie about that because I was too busy ranting about authoritarianism and politics. So I will probably keep on going because I feel like I'm so fucking close. And I want to solve it myself. And you cannot imagine how good it feels when you solve that shit by yourself, right? Anyway, this is Thorn, Game Design Lexicon, currently playing The Fool's Errand for the MS-DOS platform and DOSBox ECE. If you like our content here, make sure you give us a follow down below on Twitch, where we do stream currently Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, noon p.m. till 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's GMT minus 6. Or you can catch us over on, where else? You can catch us on YouTube. Just hit the subscribe and the alert button and know we're coming out with new content, which is regularly. Normally you don't get my left-wing lunatic ranting on that, but, you know, sometimes what am I going to do? Like when the news is what it is, gaining a lot of traction, California. Dude, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if that's true, dude. Because people, you know, say Bernie Sanders or Mandami are leftists. They're not. They're corporate Democrats. Regardless, they're paid by other corporations, so they're capitalists. They're authoritarian. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, YouTube, like, dislike, comment about other social media platforms. Going to take a music break. ELO, Olivia Newton-John, Xanadu soundtrack. I will be back with some more Fool's Errand.